Well, James, thank you very much for joining me today. For those that don't know about your role here at Walsall Football Club, tell us about yourself and what that role is.
Yeah, so I'm the head of marketing and communications here at the club. I've been here around 18 months or so now. Part of my remit at the club, I also lead on fan engagement, and that includes obviously all engagement activities with supporters, but also the match day experience as well.
Speaking of fan engagement, the report has just gone live for the 24-25 season. Why was it this year that we decided to publish that report?
Yeah, so many fans will have seen last summer we published our first fan engagement plan. That set out a number of things which we were going to do throughout the 24-25 season. One of those things within that fan engagement plan was to publish a fan engagement report, also to report on all the activities and things that we did throughout the 24-25 season.
On that report, what does it aim to achieve? Why are we publishing it?
Well, yeah, I think I've just sort of touched upon that. Like I said, I think it's important to be transparent with our supporters. So, as you said, we set out to do a number of things throughout the season, and I think it's important that we tell supporters what we've delivered. And as fans will see when they read the report, I'd like to think we've gone above and beyond what we set out to do.
And you say there's many things that have happened, on a match day and surrounding that, and the build up to a match day during the 24-25 season. But for you, what are some of the key highlights in that report?
Yeah, I think for me, there's probably two sort of standout areas for us. So the first thing that we did was we set up a number of fan focus groups. The way they were set about, we went through quite a lengthy fan consultation process, which started in January 2024 it was, where we put an open invite out to all supporters to complete a survey, asking fans to give their feedback on a number of areas. And what we did is we invited fans who completed those surveys in for a consultation session here. And what we did, we had quite lengthy discussions to sort of, really understand, what were the key areas that fans wanted the club to improve on. And off the back of that, we created 3 fan focus groups. And when we did that, we invited a number of fans that were part of that consultation process into those focus groups. We created a good cross-section of supporters, and their feedback has been invaluable to us.
I was going to say, from the focus groups, they, as supporters, obviously have a direct influence into what we do as a football club, throughout the season on a match day, and they've obviously been able to bring in some of those highlights as well that have been in the report, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like I said, their feedback, particularly on match days, has been invaluable. I'm sure many fans will have seen the improvements that we've made, particularly here on match days. We've done a number of theme match days, but there's just been like little things which we've tried to add throughout the season. And a lot of that has come from supporter feedback. So we've done things, for example, like the junior team read, where we get a fan from the home end to read the home team out over the PA system. We did the same with the away team as well, and again that's gone down really well, and that's following some feedback that we've had from supporters. One of the things that we've also introduced as well, and we've gradually refined throughout the season, is the first time fan experience. That's where we get junior supporters down who are attending the first game here at the Pallet Track Bescott Stadium. It's an opportunity for them to create a real special experience for them. So they meet the players, they meet Swifty, they get a special certificate, they have a penalty shootout against Swifty in the fan zone. It just creates that all-round better experience for them, and wants to make them come back. And it's through the feedback of supporters where we've been gradually able to sort of refine that.
I was going to say, on that, the refining of the fan experience, we've obviously focused in wholeheartedly on our home supporters as well, but you mentioned the junior team read there as well. It's about including everybody, isn't it, when they come to the Pallet Track Bescott Stadium, and that's why we invited away supporters to come in and do exactly the same thing as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, to be fair, I mean, when we get the away fans involved on that as well, again, the feedback we get from those is, well, we don't do anything like this at our football club, so it's really good to get that recognition as well from away supporters. But again, you talk about inclusivity, and what we're trying to do here, particularly in terms of the home supporters, is to try and create a more inclusive atmosphere and a more inclusive environment for our supporters. And again, through that ongoing feedback from supporters and the supporters within the focus groups, we're continually looking to improve.
And talking of improvement, we've seen the club achieve gold in the EFL Family Excellence Scheme, and we were also shortlisted for the best fan engagement by a non-Premier League club at the Football Business Awards. And to receive that kind of recognition just goes to show that the hard work that's been put in, away from a match day and in the build-up to everything is being recognised, and that must be, a real nice feeling for everybody.
Yeah, it is, and it's a club-wide effort. It's not down just to one or two individuals. I kind of look at Graham Whittaker, our support liaison officer. He's obviously been within the role for a number of years, and he's sort of seen significant improvements during his tenure. He looks after the Here to Help team, who have been absolutely instrumental in improving the match day experience. But we also look at our stewards as an example, our catering kiosk staff as well. Just creating real sort of positive touch points for supporters. So, as I said, everyone plays a key part in that. And it's down to me to sort of continue to drive that.
Speaking of driving things, on a final note, we're only a couple of weeks away now from the start of the 25-26 campaign. It begins here at the Pallet Trap Escott Stadium against Swindon. What can supporters now expect in terms of fan engagement going into the 25-26 campaign?
Yeah, for us it's about continuous improvement. Look, we've made a number of improvements last season, and again we've taken a lot of feedback on board from supporters, as I've mentioned, and we're still continuing to get feedback from our supporters and focus groups where we have open dialogue with. So we'll continue to take those on board. But we've also got a number of plans which we'll be announcing hopefully over the next coming weeks and months, which will gradually add to the improvements of the matchday experience here at the Pallet Trap Escott Stadium, and hopefully we can kick on.